Hey, it's Mark here from Make Him Yours, and today we're discussing 7 types of seductive energies that men cannot resist. Now, the reason I wanted to do this topic and the reason I wanted to bring in my friend Anya Grace to do this with me is that I've been to workshops where I've seen this done. We have these in Australia, and the women actually get to enter these archetypes, these energies that we're going to talk about today. And Anya Grace, who's worked with companies like Samsung, you've trained hundreds of women around the world with this, you're a female empowerment and feminine energy coach. She has created a lot of these archetypes and literally coaches them and runs summits over the internet, just like the one I went to in real life. So these are really beautiful feminine energies and archetypes that we're going to share with you today. Anya, thank you for coming in.
I'm so excited.
We're kicking off with number 1, which is the goddess. What is the goddess and how does this help women get into their feminine and be irresistible to men?
Love it. So the goddess energy is all about being unpredictable and allowing yourself to fall into that dynamic feminine nature that we really all are as women. It's the energy of the tides and the moon fluctuations and phases. I like to say that the ocean floor is kind of symbolic of the divine masculine energy and the ocean is the feminine. And the ocean floor does not request that the ocean warn him when sea is about to storm, that he's ready to handle whatever arises within her wild form. So it's this total dynamic energy of the feminine that's always fluctuating, that's never really predictable. It's changing from moment to moment, and it's when you allow yourself to really fall into your feelings and to not hold them back.
Yeah, when I went to this workshop, it was actually presented as an archetype called the wild woman. And I can remember this woman was totally in her unpredictability and totally in her divine, and she was losing it and then came straight at me and like stopped there in my face and was screaming and then just went back to it. And our job as the masculine in this workshop was just to hold space. And when you create that safe space and go into this unpredictable energy, it allows you to own that side of your feminine, that archetype, and completely freeze it. And it just releases it for irresistibility to men. Number 2 is the maiden. And this is one that I wanted to start on because the maiden is this beautiful, vulnerable side of the feminine that I don't think gets brought out anywhere near enough in society these days. I remember when I went to this feminine energy workshop, the first energy the women presented to us in the masculine that we were holding space for was their maiden energy. And I can remember this woman, I opened my eyes and she was in front of me and she was kind of half curled up in this blanket on her side, almost like in the fetal position. And she was just looking up at me and giving me like the most beautiful, vulnerable essence of herself. And I'd never met this woman. Like this was a vulnerability that she dived into immediately. And she could go so far into it in this workshop. And you help women do this. How do you help women get into this vulnerable side of their energy? And how does it bring in men?
Love it. So the maiden is one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
And she is really the energy of softness. As women, our bodies are literally softer. We're more supple, more gentle, and that allows there's more energy that we actually hold in our body in a way where when a man enters us physically or even emotionally into our heart space, there's this softness that we can create. So the maiden energy is that allowance to be soft and to be really receptive and responsive. So I like to have women just practice this if they're in a partnership, if they're in a relationship, in sex, in intimacy, just really allowing yourself to be fully responsive to his penetration. And what that means is not just in his act of penetrating, but also in his touch and in his gaze. Like how much can you actually respond to that? How can his hand create this like actual ripple through your whole body? That when we allow ourselves to really respond to a man, he feels his power and he feels that he has an impact in your life. And so that's really also that energy.
Yeah, and it charges us.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Don't forget as well, if you do want to get more into these energies and if you want to learn how to embody these energies even more, me and Helena Hart wrote you a free book, free total report on 7 secrets to becoming the woman he cannot resist. That link we'll put up here and in the description below. So number 3, Anya, is the princess energy. Tell me about the princess energy and how does this make a woman so vibrant and attractive to men?
Yeah, love it. So princess, I was actually really resistant to when I was first creating these archetypes and working with these archetypes, because I always associated her with just that needy, sort of preppy energy that I wasn't attracted to. It didn't seem powerful to me. But the more I learned about the princess, the more she stood out as actually a leader. And this woman who's totally coming of age, and everybody adores her and cherishes her in their life. And she is just the most beautiful, really refined energy that is, I like to say that she's only ever known love. So she's just offering love and kindness all the time. And very playful, very just spirited.
How do you help a woman get into that playfulness? If a woman's not been playful and she goes, but my advice, by the way, would be take one from this video and think, how can I embrace that energy more? Check out the guide as well for more tips on that. How does a woman get more into that playfulness? If she's like, I'm not a playful person, well, you are, but how do we bring it out?
Yeah, I mean, just find what makes you have joy in your life. It doesn't have to be, whatever makes you the happiest. Maybe it's your cat, or maybe it's playing with your kid. Whatever energy you feel when you are the happiest and the most joyful, even if it's a memory from your childhood. Think of that, notice what it makes you feel in your body, and then connect with that feeling and bring that into your life. Bring that into a party where you feel nervous, or bring it into a date where you feel kind of, a little rigid, and just bring that energy with you.
Number 4 is one of the most beautiful energies that I've felt from a woman, and this is one that many women will access a lot of the time and are good at accessing. It's their nurturing and their caring energy. It's often referred to as the mother. And I think the important thing with this energy is that it has to come from a place of abundance. Mm-hmm. When a woman is giving because she feels amazing and she just wants to give, she's not doing it for a result. She's not doing it because she wants to get something from the man. Like, I'm cooking him breakfast because I want to get his love, or I want him to do a thing. When it's coming out of pure abundance, and it's the same for a man, when we're doing things out of pure abundance, not because we have an agenda to get something, but because we want to care and we want to nurture, that energy coming from a woman, that nurturing energy in our lives, in man's lives, is irresistible. It's really one of the greatest things about having a woman in our lives, and it's way better than sex or anything like that a woman brings to our lives. Number 5, Anya, is the queen. What is the queen, and how do the women embody it?
Yeah, so think of a queen as the woman who's elevated on her throne. She works side by side with the king, so she's fully honored and respected for her gifts that she offers in the partnership. She wears a crown, which actually represents this connection to her higher self, this part of her that is connected to wisdom and understanding of what's really good for all. It's not self-serving. So in that selflessness, in that connection to other people and caring about other people, she's highly honored and highly respected. So she commands respect in a really graceful, dignified way. I like to use the word honor to describe the queen as well.
I love the book, I don't know if you agree, I love the book The Queen's Code by Alison Armstrong. I feel it really does a good representation of that energy. If you feel that's an energy that you want to get more into, I'd recommend that book. And don't forget, we've got the guide by me and Helena Hart available as well. Number 6, Anya, is the priestess. How does a woman embody the priestess, and how is it different from what you might imagine to be the queen?
Yes, so the priestess is really acknowledging that as women, our value is in our energy. It's not in really the way we look. It's not in how much money we have or what clothes are in our closet, what we do for a career. It's the way we feel ourselves, and how when we walk into a room, people feel something. When you're embodying your priestess energy, you are a master of energy. So you're the bridge between spirit and matter. And when a man enters your body, it's a spiritual experience, because you're actually elevated to this place of your true power. You're not as much in the physical world. You are connected to love, ultimately.
So that's a very deep one. What are the hows? Like, how does a woman who feels she's maybe disconnected from that spiritual side of herself, her priestess energy, what can she actually do to get more into that?
Yes. So the priestess is very deep, like you said. And this depth comes from allowing ourselves to actually dive deep into our darkness and our pain as much as we cherish those moments of light and joy. Because I like to say, like, when we embrace that darkness, it carves us out and it makes us so intricate and powerful. And the more we can really, embrace that darkness as part of our power and turn it into our light, we become just so expansive and beautiful, I think, as human beings.
Is this, side question, is this important for men too, to dive into this side of their energy and their darkness to become more full? Do you teach this to men too?
I do, yeah, because, what we are is exactly what we're attracting. So if you want to attract a high value masculine man who can handle you and if you want to own your emotions and own your full power without holding back, you have to do the healing yourself, because it's not about ever being a victim. It's not about putting your emotions onto a man. It's about being able to develop your inner masculine as much so you can handle your own self. And then the level by which you develop that will exactly mirror who you can attract into your life.
Yeah, nice. I love it. And number 7 is the Seductress. And I remember when I went to this beautiful workshop in person, there was we were sitting there in the middle of this circle, and there had to have been 20 to 24 women in their Seductress around us all at the same time. And it was literally one of the most memorable, intense, polarizing moments of my life, because they were all so in their Seductress, their sexual energy. And it was almost like there was this vortex around. It was, I can't, and this is why I was so passionate about doing this video, because until I'd actually experienced women going to the extremes of these archetypes in person and fully owning their feminine archetypes and energies, you have to feel that. You have to kind of be there to explain how powerful that is. And you can see how healing it is when they accept that side of themselves. How does a woman get more into her Seductress and really own that? The
Seductress is so powerful. The Seductress is so feminine energy, it doesn't come from our head. You can watch as many of these videos as you want, as you can, but it's when you actually drop it into the body and you feel what you're talking about in these videos, and when you feel your power from your body and your heart, that's when you step into your true power. So the Seductress energy is going so deep into yourself, where all you care about is feeling good and experiencing pleasure to the extreme. And that is the energy that's magnetic. When you're worried about how you when you're worried about how you look and what that guy thinks of you in that moment, you're only tapping into that much of your power. When you dive into yourself and you experience your pleasure, it's like the whole world orients towards you. So the other really important thing with the Seductress is she's tapped into all of the feminine energies. So she can go into the Maiden energy in an instant, and then a moment later she's in her Queen. And that in intimacy, in sex, and just in your life, like in relationship with a man, he's like from moment to moment, that's she's so changing. True. And it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, she shifts, and it's just like, wow. Hey, Anya's website, if you want to check it out, how do they find you?
Yeah, you can find me at elevatedwomantrainings.com.
Elevatedwomantrainings.com. Make sure you check that out. Don't forget as well, me and Helena Hart created the guide to the 7 secrets of being the woman he can't resist. So make sure you download that. It's up there and in the description below. Anya, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your amazing feminine wisdom.
It's so
That's
fun.
Really beautiful. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts, your comments, your questions, any questions you have for me or for Anya as well. Put them all in the space below. Which archetype do you feel you could embody more or improve the most in? As I say, my advice would be don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick one and go, all right, I'm going to really embody this. I'm going to spend the next couple of weeks taking action steps to really embody, whether it's my Queen or my Seductress or my Priestess, my Maiden, whatever it is. Really embody that. And if you really want to get more into your feminine energy and be irresistible to men, that's the way to do it. So thank you for coming in, Anya. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit the big red subscribe button with the little bell as well. And we'll see you in the next video real soon.